Are we recording?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hi, everyone. It's Monday night, and it's Stephanie and Joel Dunn, and we actually have a surprise guest speaker that's coming on. Kelsey Thornton. If I said, you're gonna have to say your last name, but
Yeah, that's
Kelsey.
right. That's right. That's right.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little background on her, but this Zoom, when I talked to her a little bit today, is we got such great feedback from the Zoom last week, and we really want to keep this simple and give you guys nuggets that you can really take away from these Zooms and build your business, because that's what we want. We want you guys to win right off the gate. We want you to have that success and continued success through the business. So, really got to know Kelsey a little bit more this summer at a leader retreat. She just went presidential a few months ago, and so proud of her because she is a fierce leader, guys. I wouldn't have her on if I didn't think that she was going to give you so much incredible nuggets. So I'm honored to have you on because you were hungry. She did not leave my side, you guys, at this retreat. She just wanted more, and that fuels me. So I'm so happy to share her with you because you can see that smile that she has. She lights up the room. She's somebody that you want to be around, and you just want to do more because of what she has to say. So that should leave you guys a clue is check yourself. Are you smiling? Are you somebody that you want to be around? And if not, be that better person to just attract those people. So I'm excited. So Kelsey, just give everyone a little bit of how long you've been in, and then we'll get right to it, and I'll ask you some questions.
Awesome. Well, that was so nice. Thank you so much. So I'm Kelsey. I always tell people, remember my name. I'm Kelsey from Kentucky, but I actually don't even live there. I live in Indianapolis, actually, and my husband was a college basketball coach, and I knew getting into the business that I needed something more. I actually joined because I wanted hair and nail money, and I was like, can I please just get my hair and my nails done without having somebody to bother me about it? And I actually didn't want to merge finances with my husband because I didn't want somebody to tell me what to do with my money. So when we got married, it was kind of like 6 months in for him to convince me. And it was just because, like, what's important to one person isn't necessarily important to another, and, what our priorities are. And I didn't feel like I had to sacrifice. And so I figured, I've always been a hard worker. I was an athlete in college, and I've never been scared of that hard work. I actually love learning. One of my favorite things that actually one of my girls told me, she's like, I love it because you're always a student of the business. And I think that that's such a good way to put it, is just learning how to be a student of the business and not feeling like you ever know everything. Because Steph, like she said, I was like her little mini stalker. She gave me permission to be, so I guess it's legal. But I was just like, I have so much to learn, and I still feel that way. And that's one of the reasons that I really love this business, is because there's no destination. There's no, I'm going to be done when I get here. So when I joined, I knew nothing, you guys. I have never ever done anything like this before. I always say, if you would have looked at my social media 3.5 years ago, you would have a lot of hope for yourself right now, because my social media 3.5 years ago was like, I don't even know, pictures of some wall art probably, and maybe a couple of my daughter and some bows. And so for me, I knew, I just asked Kyle Tweed, because I knew him from college, and I said, okay, Kyle, how much money is your wife actually making a month? And Aaron was a double diamond at the time. I hadn't talked to Kyle since college. This was probably a really rude question, but at the time, I've learned a lot since then. So at the time, I was just trying to figure out, how much, if I could really make money. And he was like, she makes about average of $8,000 to $10,000 a month. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, is that a month? And he was like, yes. And I was like, babe, I talked to my husband. I was like, babe, if she makes $8,000 to $10,000 a month, she's probably lying. So let's cut that in half, and she makes $5,000, then maybe I can make $500. And he was like, yeah, I'm sure you can. And I was like, but it's $99 to start. Do you think it's a scam? Because none of my family had ever done anything like this. I grew up with very traditional household. I grew up with, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was he worked a financial consultant job. And I was just like, oh gosh, like I just thought this was for people who can't get jobs. Like, just total honesty. I thought, that? Like, and joke's on me because I had a job and I was still broke. So I was like wondering, you know, okay. He was like, babe, when's the last time you walked into Target and did not spend $99? And I was like, true. So, and then he kind of gave the, you know, he's like, if you're a nurse, you know, you have to buy your stethoscope. Like, you know, he kind of talked me to that. He's a business-minded person. And so I just said, okay, like, I'm going to see what happens. And he said, but if you do this, you need to do it. He's like, I know you will, because you're all or nothing, but I don't want this to be nothing. I want this to be all. And so I did. And I just jumped in, and I knew nothing. Like, you guys, I was total ignorance on fire. So that's a little bit about me. I went diamond in 4 months, then went double diamond, then probably about 9 months later. The next year, we both went triple diamond and earned $100,000 in bonuses just in that one freaking month after conference, which is, I mean, it's just been crazy. Like, it's been insane. So now I've made more in a month than I used to make in a year at my job with a master's degree. So
that's so awesome. So a couple of things that I want to pull out that I hope you guys caught is she jumped in and she went all in. Huge takeaway right there. So don't just get in, you know, really dive into it and know that, you know, your enroller, your team is there to help kind of answer those questions, right? And so that was something I just heard. Kelsey was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I did it. That was me too. I was like, I don't know, but I want to make money. I want to feel good about myself. I want these. And I'm going to just tell people and share kind of, here's your option. You can do it with me, you know, join the business or get my discounted product as a customer. Like, what else is there? Those are your options, or no. So it's okay. So something that I heard you say, which she's got a great 72-hour to boom your business. So I'm going to kind of walk through this a little bit, kind of going back and forth with Kelsey. But she said when she first got started, you know, she wasn't posting because she didn't know she was going to do this business. So how do we even get started as a brand new distributor is posting, being excited, right? So what would you suggest? You know, you just signed me up, Kelsey, and I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I've shared a lot of things or something, but what would you suggest talking to a brand new distributor or even people that are like, I'm just ready to get back going? What would be a great like post?
I think one of the things that I always tell people is people want to connect. And this business is all about connecting with people. And so people can't connect with you if you have a perfect life. And, you know, podcasts I always listen to, he says, you know, you would always rather follow somebody who's real than somebody who's always right, you know? And so you want to be vulnerable. And as hard as that can be, people relate to vulnerability and they relate to your weaknesses. And they can admire your strengths, but they're going to connect to you through your weaknesses. So it's okay that you don't have it figured out. But even in the Bible, it says, without a vision, the people will perish, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have to give people a vision of where we're going. I've used this analogy with a lot of my girls recently. I just came up with that. I'm like all about analogies because I know people's brains work very differently. So I like to use put it in different terms. So I'm like, you have to view this as you're on a road trip. Okay. Let's say you're going, I need to go to LA. And I'm going to LA, I'm going to see the Hollywood sign, and I'm casting this vision for people about that. And so when I'm posting my first post, I'm going to say, you know what, this is where I'm going. And this is why I'm excited about it, because this is what I'm going to see when I'm there. And this is why I wanted to go. And so it's the same thing. So when you join, you're going to tell people, why did you want to join? You know, what is it about this business that attracted you, and why are you excited about it? And tell people that you're excited, because if you're not excited, how can anybody else get excited about this business? Mm-hmm. And so excitement to me is way more important than any amount of knowledge that you can have. And so for when I'm talking to people, I'm telling them I'm asking my new distributors, why did you want to join? Let's talk about that in your first post. And let's talk about how the products kind of give people a sneak peek, right? You want to give them a taste of something, but not give them too much information, because then they don't have anything to ask you, right? Mm-hmm. So it's you're kind of having the carrot, but they don't see the whole thing. And so you want to say, you know, they're plant-based products, and say that, you know, you're excited and you're going to be working towards these incredible bonuses. That's you telling them where you're going, and why you joined. So make it personal. Don't just say, I joined to make $500. Ask yourself, when I joined, Aaron Tweed asked me, ask yourself why 5 times. And I was like, what the heck does that even mean, Erin? And she's like, well, okay, you wanted to join for $500. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, well, what is that $500 going to do? And I was like, well, I want to get my hair and my nails done. Well, why do you want to get your hand and your nails done? Oh, well, I'm a new mom to a 5-month-old and my body looks like crap. I have breakouts everywhere. And so I at least want to feel pretty in some way. Do you think that any moms can relate to that? Any new moms? Yep. And so I'm building that connection through my vulnerability of really not even understanding that's really why I wanted that $500 until I started asking myself those questions. And so when you dig a little bit deeper, you're going to be able to open up this whole world of opportunity and to what you can say. Because you might be like, well, I don't have a story yet. That was like my biggest thing when I joined. I was like, I don't have a story. Like, what? These people have these like amazing stories of like going from food stamps to being millionaires. And I don't have that yet. Like, what the heck? And, but you don't have to. People love to follow the journey. That is what reality TV is, right? It's the journey. There's not just a before and after picture. It's not just a, hey, here's where we started, here's where I am. But they want to watch you because they're going to connect with you through that journey.
What I love, and I don't know if a lot of you guys caught that, was something that I use a great quote for. I would rather have an idiot on fire than somebody with knowledge on ice. So what that means is it's all about that excitement. It's all about, you don't know anything. You don't know what you don't know, but you are so excited and you can find the answer for people. The problem is when you get to the knowledge on ice part where you know everything, but you're so boring that nobody wants to come along the ride with you. So you got to have that burning fire of excitement, even though you have no idea. We have no idea what's going on at conference, but do you know how excited we are for the next 6 weeks? It's freaking, I can't wait.
Yeah. So newbies, if you're in this is the season when it's boom time. So you need to be like, if you've ever thought about making some extra money, I'd love to have you join my business. It's only $49. It's, we've got a new product that's clinically proven to lose 31 pounds in 90 days. Like, we have all the right things. Our biggest conference of the year is coming up. Everything's happening. In worst case, you don't do anything. But what if this works? Voice message them on Facebook. If it's your friend, go, I want to do this together. How fun would this be? Kind of think of that. So this kind of brings me to a list. You've got your post out there, and we really want to do that. And we want to help you build that business. We want to help you hit these ranks, right? We want that income coming in so you have that win. So the importance of knowing your list. Where do you create that? How do you create that? And so Kelsey, I love that you have kind of your 30s list. So I'm going to have you share, but then I'm going to have Joel copy into the chat some ideas on, if you're like, well, I don't know anybody. You guys will always throw me with excuses, but I will always give you something that you can do to make this work if you're willing to do the work. So Kelsey, share with me on creating that list.
Okay, so I'll give you kind of a tip for me. I honestly, you guys, I was terrified to message. And you guys are probably looking at me like, oh my gosh, like, why were you terrified to message? Like, you could talk to anybody. I really can talk to a wall. But you guys, that doesn't mean I was still not scared to message people, okay? But here's what I say about that, is that fear and that any negativity and any fear, let it just sit on the table for a second with you. And acknowledge that it's there and still do it anyways. This doesn't mean it has to stop you. Just put it on the table and do it and sit next to it and do it anyways. So you're going to have that, and that's okay. Like, it's not bad. It just means you care. When you have some strong feeling, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative one. It just means you care enough, right? Because you want to succeed in this business. So take that as, holy crap, that means I'm really excited about this. So when I looked at messaging, I did not want to message my best friends at first. So I actually went to people on my friends list that I hadn't talked to in like a long time. So like from grade school and maybe even high school. And I did that because I was like, well, if they say no, it's not gonna be awkward because I don't talk to them anyways. Right? That was my thought process. So I just like went there. And so for me, when I messaged people, I thought about people who could benefit from the products. I thought about people who could benefit from the business. And then I thought about people who I would buy dirt from me just because I'm me and they love me. Okay. And that is definitely something that I feel like you're going to have those people, and then you might have people that you thought really did it, and then they might not. And that's okay too. But you still know, right? You're going to LA. You know where you're going. So it doesn't matter who's coming with you. You were just nice enough to bring them along. Mm-hmm. And so you still have to keep that in mind. But creating this list and figuring out who to message you guys, it's not bothering them. What I really want you guys to understand for me is the way I look at messaging is believing in somebody before they believe in themselves.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because
So
what's the biggest thing you hear is that I didn't think I'd be good at this, or I don't think I'd be good at this. That's one of the biggest things that I hear when I message people. So what happens if I wouldn't have messaged them? They wouldn't have known how good of that, how good they could be at this.
or don't be afraid to just offer it. We were looking and nobody knew that. Could you imagine, thinking that person that enrolled us, you don't know who that person is, that it's going to completely change your life, your business, or even they may know somebody that brings in somebody that just blows up your business. Mm-hmm. So here's an action for you guys. So you're like, Kyle, I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. Like, who should I even start with? Where do I begin? Think of your family. Sometimes family are the worst. You think that they're going to be supportive and they're not, and that's okay. You're going to get some of that. I had that. So know that every person will have that. But this is something that I did today. I want to create interaction. Most of you are on social media. And so the first thing that I think that we should do is, I just posted this today just to show you guys I still do things to create my hundreds list every single day and to add to it. And so Joel's going to put this post, and it was just, I'm curious, how many moms do I have on my Facebook? And it's the color. They'll see a yellow heart, I'm a mom. Purple, I'm a stepmom. I'm pregnant. I'm not a mom yet. And it gets interaction on your Facebook. So let's just say this is Facebook. So it's up there now. And you guys can copy that and do this, because people love to tell you, they are so proud of answering a question that you get an idea. Oh my gosh, they are a mom. Let me go look at their profile. Maybe they're looking for money. Maybe they're like, they are part of It Works. You don't need to message them, but it gives you an idea of where you could start your hundreds list. Or, holy cow, so-and-so commented and I haven't talked to them in a long time. It triggers something in your mind to actually go and be excited about, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm super excited. You came up on my mind and I just had to message you about this crazy business I'm doing right now. And it's got a 3,000 guarantee. Are you interested in hearing more? Like, that is what I do.
So quick action step for everybody that's on here. I put that in the comments. Go copy and paste it and text it to yourself so that you can text it and post it later.
Yeah. And there's different things, you guys, as you're following, how else people, the memes, everything. That is your hundreds list every single day. So something that I try to do when they comment that, again, I look, is this somebody I haven't interacted with before? Is it somebody, if I look at their Facebook, they're positive, they're somebody that I would personally love to have on my team, I would message them. So don't be afraid. Message. You might be like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm saying. But doing is going to get that fear and it's going to go away. And your team is there to help. So I love that you said, tag your enroller, tag your diamond leader on your pages. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's the one thing that, as we're your leader, we love your success. Don't be afraid to ask for help. This is the only time in my life that I actually say, use me. Like, you have full advantage to use me, and that's what I want. So I think that's a great tool that any newbie that's just frozen, or somebody that's been in for 3 years and you're like, where do I start? Here you go. Get this out there. That this is a big time. And so we'll get you some there. So reaching out. So that's kind of part of it. We kind of just went over that. So what would you do, Kelsey, as far as if you were to do that post? Is there something, are you scripty? Are you not? Are you voice messaging, memo?
I love voice messaging. Number one, because my life has changed so much since I've been in the business, right? So not just from a financial standpoint, but life has happened, right? We've moved 2 times. My husband has a new job. I had a daughter, then I got pregnant, and then I had a son. So when I'm trying to change a diaper, I'll be voice messaging somebody and be like, hey girl, sorry, I don't have, I'm in the middle of changing a diaper, but I really wanted to get back to you. And that shows people that you're real. I'm a mom and I'm doing this business, and so can you. You don't have to, do it away from your kids. You don't have to, go and sit. Now there might be a time for that, but even though I'm sitting in this pretty office that I have in my new house, I literally was telling somebody, I'm like, I don't really use it. It's nice for pictures and to say I have this pretty office, but I work around my life. you know, and that is so cool. And that's such a benefit of this business. And so often we expect this business to be like, okay, well, I'm going to sit down for an hour uninterrupted and message. And it's like, that doesn't happen. Like, at least not for me, that doesn't happen. Like, I have my kids screaming at me. Like, yesterday, I was laying in the bed posting something, and I feel this warm thing. My son was laying in the bed watching a TV show. He peed on me. I was like, this is real life. You know what I mean? Like, this is real life. And that's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be like in an office with like this pretty coffee cup and stuff. Like, I mean, sometimes it can be, but don't like wait to work until it is that, because you'll never get there and you'll never work as much as you want. So that's something that like why I love voice messaging. I don't really necessarily do it off the bat, but I'll message people and I'll ask them like, hey babe, is it okay if I voice message you real quick? And see if they're available, because sometimes they're at work and I don't want that lag time in between the conversation happening. So if they're like, well, I'm actually at work, text is easier, then at least I've opened that window to say that that conversation can continue to flow, because I do believe there is so much momentum in a conversation, right?
Love
like
that.
So if you wait too long, their excitement dies too. And so I like to try to keep it going as much as possible. And when I was having, I was like a slower part of my business. And I was just like, what is happening? And it was because I was trying to be way too structured in how I did it. Like I was putting my hours as like this and this, and I was working, and there's a time and a place for that. But sometimes you kind of just have to go with the punches and go with the flow and understand that, like, you know, you might be in the middle of ordering food and being in the takeout line and you can voice message somebody because you're driving, and that's okay too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and something too that, you know, on Facebook, on Instagram, you can see if they're on. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you're like, okay, I want to be a little bit more focused and intentional with my time, and you see somebody's on, message them. I saw a couple people, you know, just even ask, what would I message if they commented or they liked on that post? First thing I'm going to check, make sure if you can see if they're part of it works or anything. Like, that's going to eliminate some time for you there. The next thing is just, did you scroll enough to see that they have kids? What are some of the interests that they like? You know, for me, I'm like, you're on my mind. I just had to message you. You know, I just wanted to let you know something that's going on. So that is more me, of just really looking to see what they're about. Because when you say their name, when you spell their name, when you call them by their name,
love that.
Some things that, you know, if you notice what they do, they value that. We all value our name, right? So make sure that you're doing some of that.
Most important word in the dictionary is your own name.
Yep. So
that's good. So one of the other things too, one of my girls taught me that was working really well for her is she would just send like a positive vibes message at first to break the ice with people. And she would just say like, hey girl, like, oh my gosh, I just saw your profile pop up on my newsfeed and I love your energy. And I just wanted to let you know that I hope you have a great day. And that's it. And then when they respond, and she would maybe not say, girl, you know, use their name, get personal with them, like your tip was, but, you know, and then when they would say like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, that just made my day, you'd be amazed at just how much having a compliment, people will be so receptive to that. And then you can say, then her, you know, the follow-up can be, oh my gosh, thank you. Cause normally they'll come back and compliment you, and you can say, thank you so much. But I'd actually, to be honest, I was actually thinking that I'd love to collaborate with you because your energy is so great. And would you be open to hearing more kind of about the business opportunity that I have? And so just kind of breaking the ice and letting them know like you're a good person, like you do care about them, that you're not just like getting out your messages to check the box, but that you're really being intentional about who you message. So for me, that's kind of definitely a tip of not just saying, you know, oh, hey girl, I think you're so gorgeous, like, and that's fine, but make it genuine and make it sound like it's coming from you. If you know, I've heard a tip, if you read it and you wouldn't say it out loud, don't type it, you know. Yep. Make sure it's something you would say in person.
Well, and something else too, you guys, as you're doing these and you're having the conversation back and forth, and I know I said this last week, but if somebody says, you know, it's just not for me right now, say, hey, you know what, that's totally okay. Let's just test it out. We just throw this post up. I've already got it done. And let's see what it does on your page. Like the worst case, it's a host to post. Newbies, if you don't know what that is, it's just having that friend on Facebook or wherever post for you. They'll tag you in a comment or let them know, have them let you know they posted so that you can check on it, because they're going to say, my friend Kelsey, is looking for or whatever. So make sure that you do, where'd we go? Do something like that. So, as you're having these interactions, can you guys hear me?
Hold on, I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
So really, there's always something that can be done, even if they responded, I'm not, not yet. Hey, you know what? Conference is coming up. Would it be okay if I put you on my calendar to just let you know what was announced? Write that down in your calendar. I taught you guys last week the importance of having a planner so you have your follow-up. So I'm doing that right now. I've been told no many times, but I follow up with, hey, our biggest conference of the year is coming. Something might be different that you may want to do it. Would it be okay if I message you? Absolutely. So that is something that if you don't have a calendar, get one or print one off at home and make sure you're doing that. We're getting close on time. Like, we're going to push you guys with a little bit more because I'm one to have you guys with as much info and with action steps to make this as successful as possible. So let's see.
Can I just finish my analogy real quick? Because
Yes,
this was so helpful for my team. No, you're totally fine. I just kind of cut it short because I was like, oh gosh, I have a tendency to talk too much. So for me, this analogy of going to LA, you guys, you just have to have the vision of where you're going, right? And you're going to have people, just say you're running a minivan and you're like, I am going to invite whoever wants to come and I'm going to invite them to come with me. And whoever wants to come can come. And some people are going to be like, pick me up, I'm in, let's go, let's do this. Some people are going to say, not right now. No, thank you. And then you're going to go and you're going to keep driving because you still know you're going to LA, right? Some people are going to jump on. They're going to jump in and they're going to be so excited. Then other people, you're going to be honking in front of their house being like, beep, 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 where are you? Are you coming? And they're going to be like, I'm coming, but then they don't come. And you have to keep going because if you wait for them, you miss all the other people that you're supposed to pick up along the way. Some people will hop in and they'll come and they'll stop and they'll drop off in Oklahoma. And that's okay because you still have a wagon full of people, a van full of people that want to go and that need to go to LA. And the people that you don't wait for, don't feel bad, you guys, because they need to see you get there first. They need to see that you're going to get there first. Okay. And when they see that you get there first, you're going to be posting all these pics of the Hollywood sign and how amazing it is that you're there. And they're going to be like, can I come? And you're going to be like, yeah, girl, here's the information. Here's exactly how you get here. Here's how amazing it is. I can't wait for you to come and meet all these people. But you have to realize that your job is to get there because that was your goal when you joined the business. And by you getting there, you're going to inspire so many people to come too. So don't be scared to just go and do it. You don't have to have other people's approval. If you've ever always wanted to go, it doesn't have to be LA. I just use LA because it was across the country. It could be Hawaii. It could be Ireland. Wherever you've always wanted to go, nobody else can tell you that just because they don't want to go, that means you shouldn't go either. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with this business. Just because somebody else doesn't want to come right now doesn't mean they won't be their time later, or it doesn't mean that you shouldn't want to go just because they don't want to go. So know where you're going when you join. And that just comes from you understanding, I am so excited to be involved in this opportunity. We call it a business, but let's remind ourselves, this is an opportunity that we get to do every single day, and we have to choose to get to do it. We just have to make that choice. We don't say, oh, we hopped in and we made this one-time decision that changed our life. No, we're making that decision over and over again every day, just like we do in a marriage, just like we do as parents, that we're choosing this to make sure that this is something that we're committed to, right? We're birthing a business.
Well, and that's exactly it. I think knowing in here, I saw that amount that I wanted, whatever that is, your goal. And you need to know, I'm going to offer it to people, but I'm going to keep going with or without you. Nobody's going to direct my success. I'm going to be the captain of my ship. So you'll hear that a lot from leaders. They finally figure it out, or they do right away. I'm going for it with or without you, you in. And people sense that, right? They're like, I'm in. So I think this is a great, one of the last questions, and I'll give you guys one more to-do thing. But it's, as newbies, you may feel discouraged because you feel like I've messaged everyone and I haven't got a distributor. First off, have you tried to go to your website and actually see what it looks like for a distributor to go in? So pretend that you're a distributor or a person that you want to see what it looks like to go to your site and to join if you've never done that. Don't just ask 10 people. You may need to go to 20. You may need to be consistent. Are you sharing your results? Are you sharing that passion that you have? Because Cammie Dempsey or Pentecost didn't sign, who was the top earner for a long time, took her 6 months before she signed her first distributor. And so I always hear those stories of, you don't know when that person's going to come in. It could be day one, or it could be in 6 months. But we all have those moments of being discouraged. But what I want you to take from that is being disciplined enough to do the work, knowing that there's always going to be no's. Like yesterday, I did what I needed to do, and I was like, where's everybody at? Like, nobody's getting back to me. But today was a different day, and I still plowed through, and it could be your season of reaching out. And look at what you're doing. Are you putting the work in to be a distributor? Get to your enroller. I love that Kelsey said that at the beginning. Make sure newbies reach out to the person that enrolled you. If they're new, make sure that you're reaching out on a team page for help and say, I really want this. It could just be wording. And that's a simple fix for us to really kind of walk you through scripting, what we can do for that. One other thing that right now that I'm doing that I'll do throughout is I'll do posts to get interaction because people love samples. And so I don't have the pictures, but what I did and what I'm continuing to do with follow-ups. So every single one of you can do this is, I'm going to have Joel post it here and I'll read it. I've had a ton of people wanting to get samples. So here's your chance. I have a 5-day sample pack ready to mail out. If you're ready to boost energy, feel full longer, burn fat, have brain fuel, test out the keto coffee, here you go. Drop an emoji in comments. So now people are like, I want samples, right? Everybody wants samples. I didn't say free, but I said samples. So the next is the actual, it's because you guys know I'm not scripty, but I made up a script for y'all. So you can be like, what would Stefani say? How does she swing and close the deal? So I want that interaction. So I have a couple pictures and I'll throw them up so you guys can see it somehow on either the leader pages so you guys have the access of what I actually posted with that. But can you put it?
I'm going to so I've got the original question in there, but then these are your responses.
Yep. So I'm going to have Joel drop the responses.
So for the next 5 minutes, nobody put comments so everybody can copy and paste this.
Yes. And then you can. I think that's always what you guys want because you're always like, I don't even know what to say. So they want samples. And so I can even say this, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. It's $20 for the 5-day samples of the keto coffee. But what most people do is they become a loyal customer and get the 15 for 39. I think I have that in right. I don't go into the full loyal program because I don't want to lose them. Towards the end is when I get into that loyalty program, okay? So that's kind of my first blurb. But what I also do is then when they say, okay, yes, I want to be a customer. Yes, it makes more sense to get the 15 for the 39. Then I'm like, okay, what is your name? And it's all in there. Phone number, address, and email. So I get information there. From there, I'm going to text you. So from the text, I'm like, all right, it's Stefani. To process your order, I'll just need your card number. Get the card number. Then I talk about the loyalty program so that they know what it is. The more information that you guys get, the more all in they're going to be. So let's practice on doing that. From there, now I've got all their information. And I always say, you know what? There's one more option. And I would hate to not ask you, have you ever thought about making extra money? There's a $49 kit promo right now. You're going to get about $150 in product. You're going to get wraps to help tighten the keto coffee, everything in that kit. Plus, we can always add on this bag of keto coffee right in your kit. So not only did I prep them, they're going to get the product. They're going to get a kit plus volume that we get paid on by them adding some extra order or extra product. So that's really why I'm really good at converting is because I don't forget the ask. So I hope that simplicity of what I do and how I think makes sense because it's all right here. I believe that every single person, this is a good question. I believe it. Every single person should do this business. Why not try? Like, you're going to get the product anyway. You're going to get results. Why not make some extra money? And especially, right now with that Thermofite X, like there's so many good things going on that, I don't want to throw up on them, but I also want them to know. Samples. How do we get samples? You all need to log in, and this is great. Something as a new distributor, you want some product on hand because you can sell keto coffee and get cash. You can sell the collagen and get cash. So go in tonight if you haven't ever. Log in, do an order of some products that you may want. And why keto coffee is you've got that sample now. People are going to want that. So now you can buy the bag for $39 and sell, there's 15 in a bag. You've got 3 sets that you can mail out, and now you actually made cash, right? So we always want to do that. So I love the keto cash. Newbies, if you don't have samples, now what do? I post this and oh my gosh, I don't have samples. It's okay. You can be like, you know what? I just sold out of all of my samples, but what most people are doing right now is they're getting the loyal customer program because they're getting my discount. Is this something that, you're interested in? If not, as soon as I get some in, I can always let you know and be on that next round that I send out. I hope that helps you guys. Does this make sense what I'm saying for you guys? It's crazy when
if your video is on, facial recognition helps.
Yes, it's gold, right? Okay, so we all should be making cash. So what I want to leave this on is, Kelsey, conference is coming up. You said the importance of this, and for newbies or for people that are second guessing, should I really go to conference? What would you recommend? What would you say to somebody that's on the fence or they're questioning it? What would you say?
You can't afford not to. Like, you just really can't. I mean, and the crazy thing is you guys, like, I actually really am like a practical person. I know I seem kind of like I have a lot of energy, which I do, but when I first heard of conference, I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to go to that. Like, I have a lot of energy and I have a lot of energy anyways. Like, I'm just cool. Like, I'm cool where I'm at. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm still vibing, I didn't think that like anything was wrong. And the thing is it doesn't have to be wrong, but when you're in that room, there is literally nothing like it. And I think the biggest thing that you have to realize is you will get a glimpse of what you can be capable of in this company. Mm-hmm. Because you will see that you want so much more because you see the heart of the company, even more surely that you can put your name behind this wholeheartedly. And that was like the biggest aha for me when I was there, is I was like, these are such legit people that I want to work with and I want to work closely with. I don't just want to be a part of it. I want to be in there. Like, I want to be in the middle of it, because you don't find that at other corporations. I always tell people, like, I did everything right. I did everything by the book. I went to school. I got my degree. I got my master's degree. I, got good grades, but you can't really put a price tag on the culture of this company, and you can't really see that until you come. To conference is the best way to kind of package it in a pretty bow. And I'm excited. My husband is going to be there for the first time. So that's exciting at conference. So, it's crazy. I know it kind of sounds like weird and odd. We're like so hyped about this conference. I thought we were going to wear polos and khakis when we first went. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but it's just like, you can't watch church online. You can, but you just don't get the same out of it. It's the same way with conference. You can't just kind of watch it online or get the vibe from live videos. Like, you get to be there and feel the energy, and it's so contagious.
Yeah, listening to church this weekend, and you just hear like the power of being present. I always think that is so powerful. So that is awesome. So for those of you wondering, should I go? How am I going to make this happen? Write down what it's going to take to get there. I'm not telling you guys this because I don't believe that it's not important. If anything I'm ever going to tell you, coming from the top earner, you guys may not know this, we were standing in food lines broke, and we still got to our first conference. I get what it's like to not have money, but I also know I'm willing to do what it takes to get to something to better my family's life. And so I just shared how you guys can make some keto cash. So you all can get on there and make some cash. The quickest way, because conference is coming up so fast, is sign as many distributors as possible this week and help them gather their 2 customers. We've done 2 Zooms back to back. You've got some great information that you can follow back up with and teach them, get them into those team pages, and really get them going with those customers in 72 hours. That's the goal. Because if you sign a distributor, they're set up on their 80BV auto ship, they get 2 customers by this Friday. Next Friday, you're going to get that $100 fast start bonus. So, you know, maybe your plane ticket's $300. I don't know what it is.
Somebody and then coming from Australia.
Yeah, right? Like
no excuses.
There is no excuses. So you'll find a way. If it is important and it's a priority, you'll make it happen. Now, I think Jade might be on and she's having a baby, so she's got an excuse, okay? But, you know.
If they won't allow you to fly, you should still be able to drive, Jade.
Oh my gosh,
I'm just saying. You can have the baby on the way.
Yeah, so you know, just think about that and ask your upline. It doesn't hurt to ask, like, I just need some help kind of get an idea of what I need. Okay. So that's what we're there to do. I hope you guys took something every week. It's our goal to give you something that you can take away, that you can apply. You got to have that action to do it. But you know that I want to bring 2019 to a whole nother level, like Mark talks about. And this is the year that I'm really pouring into giving you the simple steps as quickly as possible, and with amazing people that are not just me doing it, but like Kelsey having success too. So we
gotta give a shout out to Julie because she's in France and it's probably like 2 a.m.
Actually, she's in Australia right now.
You're in Australia.
So she's one of our French girls that speaks French. She's our translator for our English team. I love her. Thank you, smiling Julie. I don't even know what time it is there, but she's committed, and we appreciate you all. I hope you know that. We were in your shoes, scared, excited, you know, what are we doing? So remember, we all started the same place. We all have a goal in mind, and we're all going to come together, and we're just going to nail this home. So thank you guys for being on. And for those of you that may not know, Pam is going to be doing a call at 9, interviewing some people that have ranked up, and that's a big deal. You'll hear a lot of tips on that. One suggestion that I'm going to do is next week, Monday, we're going to do this again. And so how would I get some new distributors to join my team? How am I utilizing this Zoom? How all of you can.
This is a good tip. You guys need to write it down. She told me it earlier, and I was like, hold on, please. I need a pencil.
So I think, you know, for you all, you can say, you know what? I'm just excited. If we can get you signed up, you're going to get, you know, you're going to learn from an exclusive training that's the #1 earner of the company. I would love to get you in, get your kit coming, and then you're going to get the Zoom ID that you can bring on. So as the week goes, don't forget to follow up. You know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what a great day to be like, hey, I'm just checking back in. You know, we have our exclusive Zoom coming up. I'd love to get you plugged in. I've never done exclusive things because I don't want to exclude. I'm all about one team and sharing that, but utilize this, guys. You're on the #1 earners team. I want you to use me, like I said. And so for me, I'm like, you need to get on. Like, you're going to learn a tip, and then you can bring on somebody, sign them up, and learn from them. So I hope that helps.
And for those of you that are asking where the replay of this goes, after we're done, we normally wait until we can download it, and then we upload it on YouTube. So you go to our YouTube channel, which is really easy to remember. It's Joel and Stephanie Dunn.tv.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's good. Or your leaders will get it somewhere, but we'll make sure
you guys
have
somehow.
it. Yes.
So that's where you go to find it if you missed it.
And I think, Joel, did you get pictures? I think he got some pictures. So if you didn't, please make sure I look good. No, just kidding. But anyway, have an awesome Monday, and let's just go crush this week, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for being on with us, Kelsey. That was
guys.
awesome.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.